Good morning, everyone. Thanks for attending. This is Bruce and Claire. We're just going to go over a few things that are new in rental. Hopefully keep it pretty short and sweet, get you on your way to Friday. So yeah, like I say, we're just going to do what's new. Basically, this is a picture of the TMS International Sales and Marketing team from earlier in the year. You can see we're growing, and that Rick is way back in the picture. So I think you might know about half of those people, and we'll introduce you to some of them as the year goes on. In Cincinnati, we're transforming from winter here to we had an early spring, like a lot of the Northern Hemisphere seems to have had. So we're all excited, and even though it's warm here, you may be wondering today where in the world is Rita. And so Rita decided to take some time off, and she flew from Cincinnati to the south of Florida because where it may be very beautiful and sunny here right now, we don't have the ocean. So Rita is spending some good vacation time in the ocean. Good for her. So instead today, you have Claire Odell, Ms. Claire Odell, and Bruce Lachey presenting what's new. Quick rental recap I wanted to do. We have, just as we had reported to you guys in November, the numbers came in and we're right. We've had incredible growth in rental internationally. It used to be, 5 years ago or so, we only focused on Canada and the U.S., and we worked on a lot of areas outside of those, and we've had great growth. International rental, we've had 2011 was 501% above what 2007 was for international rental, which is a pretty impressive number. We've had it's about 50% growth per year internationally. We're very happy for that. Even in the U.S., the PCB salesmen with the highest sales also sell the most rental. They go hand in hand. What we think, what we know, we think it's an incredible advantage to rent from the same group that manufactures and sell them. So even in your territory or your country, you may have companies that have a sound and vibration solution, but only in rare cases are they the same people that manufacture the instruments. So we think the Modal Shop PCB as a combined solution offers a unique advantage. So it's a nice sales tool to have in your pocket. And then also we're going to talk about rental improvement. We had talked about this last year too. We had some difficulty determining when the rental started. I think we've seen some improvement with that this year. You may have seen, if you've rented in the last few months, that Mrs. Claire Underhill is coordinating with whoever places the purchase order to assure when the rental arrives at your customer, and that's when we reset the date. Claire also handles when a rental extension is due to make sure it's not in process at your direct office or is coming back, so we wouldn't have to automatically re-extend the rental. So just a case of kind of what makes sense to do right for the customer and us and smooth out that process. So if you have any feedback on that, we'd love to hear it. So now let's get to the bulk of this. Some new items in rental. The first one is something we've had requests for quite a bit, but it falls outside of the range of our normal sound and vibration. And again, I want everyone to keep their salesman hat on when you're looking at all of the new products. And remember the reasons that people like rental. You can expand your channel count as a generic one. You have a short-term test. You want to try something. If you're a consultant, you may want to say, we have everything under the sun to test with. If you're getting your equipment in for calibration, sending into the factory for repair or cal can take a long time. And we would have a calibrated instrument ready to ship. something quick turnaround. PCB with the stock products have increased dramatically the availability of instruments, but some products, especially some that we're going to talk about today, still take a long time as they're not considered a platinum or stock product. And then capital budgets we've spent whole webinars on, but I can certainly go over that with you if you feel that you need a refresher or new. So the first new item is the force limited vibration test system. Bob Metz has been working with us from the factory, from PCB, for a while to get this added. And what it does basically is it minimizes over-testing of delicate components when you're doing a shaker or a slip table type test. Often you may have a very delicate, one-piece satellite or component for a satellite that just by testing it you may damage it. So by measuring the sum forces and the moments, you take z-direction pairs and subtract them. You can put that into a closed-loop control system and assure that you're not going to damage your part just by testing it. Who that you're going to target for are generally people that make satellites, components for them, any space agencies. They generally already have large shakers and slip tables already in-house. Would be the targets both to sell and to rent the force-limited vibration systems to. The modal shop rents complete solutions. So for both the two main options, the charge and ICP, we have the complete 440 series rack, the power supply for your region, and then different charge summing panels for charge or ICP and charge conditioners. And these generally are the pieces that are going to take 10 to 12 weeks from PCB right now. So having them available in rental is a good benefit that Bob Metz had seen for a while, but it just started now to dawn on us to add them. Also, we're starting to add some of the 3-component quartz force rings. We've started with the ICP type. Those we have some on rent currently, and we do believe that we'll add some of the charge mode. We do want to remind you, you may have had training on the force-limited vibe systems before. PCB, like with the Excels, believes that the ICP is the preferred solution, but due to historic history, basically, with this system, a lot of a big competitor was pushing the charge mode still, and so a lot of people for drop-in replacements will still use the charge mode, like the 26A1 series. There's a popular A11, A12, and A13 that are charge mode. What we're not adding yet, and we need some feedback from the customers, or let us know when you have an opportunity, we're not adding any of the 3-component quartz force links. If we did, it would likely only be the ICP solution. It wouldn't be the charge. And it's kind of important to note for both the rings and the links that they are considered stock products at PCB now. So we have the longer lead time items kind of covered. And the main triggers that you have to rent these, and this is kind of your keys while you're pushing a rental solution, is obtain instrumentation quickly. Again, like we'll stress, is that it can be a very long lead time from PCB. It lets you try before you buy. This was seemed like a win-win for our system. You may have items out there from competitors with more history, but PCB is, you've been making systems for this for a long time, but we're still kind of the new kid on the block here. PCB believes that our summing boxes are easier to use. They're more Kaizen, less engineering needs to go into using them. You can use simpler cabling, and our price point is a lot better than our competitors. So we feel this is a home run product that just needs to get more exposure. And there's no capital. Often people that are using this type of equipment, it may be a one-time test. You only have a certain new kind of satellite every few years maybe, or a new component that you'd need to do this type of testing. So it seems like a good option for rental too. Again, feel free to push the purchase solution, but sometimes certain companies can be very poor planners, so the long lead time may be a problem, so they can always rent it first and get their purchase solution down the road. The next new item in rental is something new from IMI. It's the Echo Wireless. This has been a solution from IMI for a few years, actually, but it's been a difficult road to release this outside of the U.S. due to restrictions on the wireless technology that's been used. We've cleared up those roadblocks, and now it's a great solution for anyone that needs to monitor machine health in a plant. The way we're going to rent it is both PCB solutions, so you can use your existing accelerometers in the plant, or you can use the new Echo sensor that's completely wireless. It takes cabling away from the facility. You can know in a machine plant, it's very difficult to lay cable, a half mile through a very complex manufacturing environment. The next bullet that we really love is it frees up the resources. Often the team that is responsible for monitoring machine health are also the people that are measuring machine health. And so what this does is take up less of their time in measurement and walking around to analyze or gather data, and allows them to have more time to analyze the data. And PCB has made it pretty easy to install and analyze the results from this. So the who that you're looking for is any industrial facility that needs to monitor machine health, or any customer with IMI sensors and a lot of cabling. The details of the rental systems we're going to offer in 2 flavors again. The K Echo Plus is a kit for people that already have their accelerometers in the plant. So what they can do is just join them up to one of the junction boxes. It transmits wirelessly to a receiver. The base kit will start with 8. You can put 8 sensors per junction box, and hundreds of sensors can be accepted by any receiver. So you can just add more junction boxes if you have more accelerometers on site. The next is the K Echo, our kit. We show it here with 3 Echo sensors, but you can start with 1, start with 8, start with however many you want. And again, it transmits wirelessly to the receiver. It's a pretty generous spec. The battery inside of the Echo sensor is listed at 5 years, so that's another advantage of the rental. That's always going to be checked and updated if necessary. And this is kind of the preferred kit that we'd like to see. This is we feel a nice home run solution. It's a PCB exclusive. No one else offers something like this. It's pretty impressive technology. You can go through walls, go through, a lot of a long distance. The software is included with the rental systems for both kits that we offer. The main 3 screens, kind of small here, but you'll see the vibration trend plot, the alarm panel to see what faults you've had in your system, and the sensor status panel. Those are pretty simple, obviously. Good to try. And then again, your main sales triggers to rent. This is mainly try before you buy. This is a new technology that a lot of plants are going to be unfamiliar with. So whereas this is generally going to be a stock product at PCB, still people may be unfamiliar and want to give it a try before they do it. So maybe if they deploy on one machine and work with their users on what the system can do, it seems like a nice home run for people to try to free up some of their time. And the price point is very good, so give it a shot. The next one is a product that may not apply to everyone. It's from the Larson Davis division. They had worked with a partner to develop this noise tutor remote noise monitoring. What it does is hook up with their existing sound meters and allows you, again, to wirelessly monitor continuously construction noise, environmental noise, wind farms. It's easy to deploy, and it works over wireless GSM, is your cell phone standard across the world, and or Wi-Fi. Who are anyone that's doing construction, environmental noise? Another good target is acoustic and noise consultants. They may have a 30 or 60 or 90-day requirement that they want to monitor nonstop, so this allows them to do so pretty easily. Basically, the system consists of the 831 in a case with a small fit PC that turns on when needed, is the most standard case. This has a small battery in that Larson Davis has been modifying a few times to get the right combination of shippability and functionality. It has an external case with a larger battery and the outdoor tripod and weather protection that you may be familiar with. Don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but just wanted to let you know it's out there and that we are starting to rent them. Again, it comes with the software, and also the model shop has a data host site where our customer can host and view their data if they don't want to go through the process of setting up a website to just host data for a short period of time. They can log in securely to a part of the model shop site and see live data scrolling from any of their monitor stations that they rent. The triggers to rent the Echo Wireless basically are to try before you buy. It's a new LD offering. Our competition's been offering it for a while, but it's very expensive from the competition. And there are a few drawbacks from our competitors' concept. Even though Model Shop hosts the data ownership still belongs to the renter. Again, with the Larson Davis solution, the data ownership belongs with the purchaser. B&K has a solution right now that they offer this, but they claim that they own the data, which is strange. And it's very expensive. It's about the amount it costs you to purchase the noise tutor in about 15 covers what it costs to rent the system from B&K for about 15 months, and then that adds up quickly after that. It's about, at least in the U.S., it's about $14,000 a year to get the required data plan service from B&K and have their equipment. And then no capital. Again, most noise projects are short, so why buy it if you don't need to buy it? Other new items, real quick, just wanted to go over some of the precision mics. These are the 377 series and the 378 with the mic and the preamp paired, and the accelerometers where, we're showing some, maybe 356A02 and 356A15 here. We have been adding a lot of sensors from the 356B21 to the popular 356A01. The new 356A03 is, I think, a unique package in that it's the only industry 1 gram sensor that's 10 millivolt per G, starting to add some of those. And again, a lot in a single axis. So where a lot of times you may have, we used to think that 60 channels of Tri-X was a big order. Now we're starting to see a lot of people want, 225 channels of Tri-X for an order. So we're adding sensors accordingly. So never be afraid to say, well, I don't think Model Shop would have 50 of this sensor. Feel free to ask us and we can work with you. And PCB's stock products increasing helps that as well. And so we're just winding down. The triggers to rent any of the mics and accels are any trigger that we target as a focus to rent. This is the things we do best here. So you as a salesperson can determine what makes most sense with a customer on why they may want to rent. Your part in all of this, again, is just to promote rental, make sure people are aware of it, provide tech support if needed, assist with local language commercial invoice so they can return it if needed, and collect commission. So it's pretty much, rental is always an awareness game. Make sure people are aware it's there, and keep in mind, that we feel the best people that rent also sell the best. So it's a good pocket to have in your sales tool belt. Thanks.